What's going on, world? Second episode right here at the YouTube podcast with my man who?
Marcus Harvey. You know who it is.
Oh, exactly. Thank you for y'all for joining and everything. We got another one that we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. This one is an uncommon one that a lot of people don't talk about, but we're gonna talk about it.
Oh yeah.
And then what it is the top 5 reasons why people are fearful of real estate investing. And there's more than 5 reasons, but we're just going to break it down to where we feel that maybe the first 5, in no particular order, but it can be scary, especially for somebody that's never been into it. So the first one we would say is that high initial capital requirement. How do you feel about that?
So that's usually number one. That's usually somebody's first fear about thinking about getting into real estate. They're thinking about how much money am I going to need to get that first deal done. There's just you can't start off thinking like that because if you're going to get into the real estate game, you got to figure out what the strategies are. You got to figure out where you're going to start. What are you going to focus on first? Because there's so many different strategies to use when you're investing. Which way you want to go as far as making money. Do you want to be an agent or a broker? It's just so many different avenues. So yeah, the myth I always say of high initial capital requirement for real estate investment is not always true. Like you can get in, you just got to learn the strategy you want to get in. What strategy are you going to use to get in? And but that's usually number one. People always thinking I need a whole bunch of money. I got to go to the bank, get a loan, all that. But nah.
And you're right, and that's exactly true because there's so many different avenues of real estate investing. Like we talked before, between everybody just thinks it's a house here, a house there. No, it could be apartment complexes, it can be mobile homes, it can be a wide range of things. That when it comes to real estate investing, I've always said that if you're living somewhere, that's a part of real estate investing.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere or another, you can actually make that into an investment. You can actually get a return back from it.
Right.
Yeah. So that fear, you just gotta, as I say, you gotta punch fear in the face, and this, because there's gonna be some uncertainty, and we can keep on going further and further into this, but
yeah,
you just have to. Don't listen to the noise on the outside.
Right.
It's got to be around people you have to be around genuine people who've been in the real estate investing portfolio, and they will actually, if they want to, and they want to give you that knowledge, then they're going to be a huge benefit to you in your real estate journey.
Exactly.
And what would you say number 2 would be?
So number 2, market volatility and uncertainty. That plays a part, of it and everything. That plays a part in this real estate journey. How do you feel about that?
I mean, a lot of factors playing into that. Like when we was writing this down, like interest rates, local factors. People are in the fear of losing money. No one wants to lose money.
Of course not. The whole part of getting into investing is so you can profit, make some money, take care of your family. So
yeah, that's real vital. And when it comes to investing, I actually feel like it's actually an avenue it's always got the green light. I mean,
right.
As long as you're on top of it, as long as you're on top of your game, things will go wrong. But as long as you're on top of it and everything, and you get the right direction, if you're getting help, then things will be good.
Yeah,
things will be good.
Yeah. Because there's always going to be those factors that you can't control, like we were saying, the way the economy goes and interest rates, the way the government controls stuff. It's just, you can't, it's a business where it can be a gamble too sometimes. Like everything's a gamble, but you gotta make sure you make the right choices when you're investing, putting your money in the right places,
Yeah.
And just have good, like you said, good people around you,
And I've always said, time speaks for itself, because if something is proven throughout a long period of time that it's good to work with it, you might as well go with it.
And it's made a bunch of millionaires, you might as well go.
Exactly. Yes. And still making millionaires to this very day.
Oh,
Even though our interest rate right now, it's over 7% right now. Like it's actually increased.
and inflation's crazy and all that.
Yeah, and inflation, like we talked in the first episode on the YouTube video, we don't know when it's going to stop. We have no idea when it's going to stop at all.
No, man, it's just seems like we got to take this thing day to day to see what the government's going to do, what the stocks are going to do. It's just all kinds of factors, all kinds of factors play into the game of real estate and just in business in general.
Yes, yes. Third one, in no particular order, will be the lack of liquidity. I can't even pronounce that word.
The lack of liquidity.
Liquidity.
It is a funny kind of word. It's got to kind of
Exactly. I've used that word so many times, and people always have to correct me. So you know what? I'm not taking this part out.
It is lack of liquidity. Yeah, can sometimes be just one of them factors. People think a lack of liquidity, a lack of cash, having some money just to invest. Oh, I'm not gonna have enough, or what I've been saving is not enough. Like I said, it just doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it matters on what strategy you're trying to use to get into real estate. So learn the knowledge and the strategies. And I'm not saying you don't need money. You do need money. You're going to need some money, but it's not as much as you think. You just, gotta put yourself out there. You gotta meet people, and then you gotta figure out what strategy to use to get you in low cost entry. If you're not trying to put a whole bunch of money down, just get in and try to do your best on that first deal, whatever it may be. If it's a flip, if it's a buy and hold, or whatever. I feel like number three, lack of liquidity is just not a good enough excuse. Not a good enough excuse to use when it comes to investing. There's so much money out there. There's different funding sources. But really, I just think the knowledge. Just you gotta have that knowledge.
And thing too with this one and number three, with the lack of, there's so much to buy.
Oh,
no
yeah.
matter that we have a 7% interest rate, there's so much to buy out there. There's so many websites that are selling properties, land, storage units, multifamily.
Homes.
The list can go on and on. There might be a lack for certain persons, what they want in their portfolio.
Right.
But if they open up a wide range of different avenues, I mean, sky's the limit. There's so much for sale right now.
Yeah. Just the way you can negotiate anything. Sometimes people negotiate just personal items, and they don't really need like funds or liquidity to do the transaction. They just barter or figure out a way to get the deal done. And you can do the same thing with real estate. You can, low cost entry like wholesaling, or like trying to get into investing. Wholesaling is one of the best. People talk about house hacking and stuff like that. If you're just trying to, house hack for a minute, that way you can build up some funds. So it's just too many, like I said, too many other strategies you can get in. What was we talking about yesterday?
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
I was filling you in about the sub-2 game, and you was just like, you was hearing me speak about it. And you was like, oh, I gotta get one, or I gotta do one. And I'm like, man, I'm always looking for sub-2.
And I've heard it before, but when you broke it down and explained to me, I mean, you're the one who helped me into this real estate game. Sure. I was just all ears. I was like, what? You actually can do that?
Yeah. It's crazy too, because I saw a little interview with Grant Cardone or whatever, and I think he didn't even know really about sub-2. Somebody was interviewing him, and he didn't even know about the sub-2 game. And I was just like, damn, how Grant Cardone don't even know about how to do sub-2s or whatever. But dude was talking to him about it, and like he was surprised, like, man, we can actually buy a house like that. And dude was like, yeah, it was crazy.
That's crazy. That opened up my eyes, because we all don't know everything, but that's why when you connect with people, you learn, and it's that knowledge.
It is.
It's that knowledge, yes. That broadens your horizon, more avenues that you can deal with, especially, punching fear in the face when people talk about, I don't have enough money to invest.
Yeah.
I always say, make a blueprint. Make a blueprint for what you want to do.
Yes.
Because you make a blueprint for what you do. You already got half your job done.
Yeah.
You already know what you want and want to accomplish. How much of funds do you need to start?
What's it gonna take? Yeah, all that.
Exactly. And is there any programs to help you with it?
And that's another thing people don't realize too, man. Like there's so many different resources and programs out there. You just got to go out there, apply for them, and see if you qualify.
Yes.
You know, to get in, if you're trying to buy, you just got to try to like, okay, let me try this program. Let me see if it works. You know, some programs might not help you depending on income, like where you at income wise. So you just got to just like use all the resources that you can, especially you trying to get in without spending a whole bunch of money. Just try to use the different strategies and that you can, you know, use the knowledge, use different strategies and try to use the least amount of money possible. That's what I was saying yesterday.
Exactly. That you use the government money, use the bank money.
Man, use bank money all day because it's out there. Government's got programs, it's out there. So
and to tell you the truth, I was thinking this too. There's probably so many programs we don't know about that people haven't even touched yet.
No, probably haven't even touched. Well, I'd say probably the public hasn't even touched, but like investors that are getting to the game and people that are researching, like me, you, and other people that are interested in real estate, I'm sure they try to use wherever they're investing is whatever free programs or resources they have in that county or in that area.
You know? Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's out there, man. Lack of liquidity should not be an excuse to not invest, man.
No, it should not. Definitely not.
So let's just shoot to number 4 real quick. We got maintenance and management responsibilities. You know, that's a big one in real estate, you know, depending on size of your property, you know, what kind of how are you trying to manage the property is like really, really important. You know, this business is not just about collecting cash flow, but you gotta be able to take care of your property and you gotta have proper management in place to be able to run the business correctly, because that's what it is. It's a business that you have to run.
Exactly. I was thinking this also too when it comes to people who own homes or apartments that this part is dealing with the property management. It's good to have a property management, but you want to make sure they stay on their job.
Oh yeah, for sure. You have to make sure they stay on their job, because when you're away and they just not doing what they're supposed to do, that's a reflection of your property and how you managing it and taking care of it.
Exactly.
You trust somebody or a company or one person to manage your property, you want them to do everything, you know. You want them to be able to take care of tenants, take care of the maintenance people, make sure everybody's on point and on schedule. You know, the bigger the property too, the more units you have, you know, you got to run it more like a business too, like an actual business.
Yes.
If you got, I guess, a few units or whatever, it's doable. You get a couple different people who can handle your, you know, maintenance and management. You can possibly do it yourself if you're handy and manage the tenants, you know, if it's just a couple units. But if you got like hundreds of units, man, all that got to be in place if you're on that level.
Exactly. Right now, I was looking at that, especially when it comes to apartments and like with property management. There are so many different systems, programs, and systems that if this is your property and you was the investor, like you'll know everything exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
There are so many different ones. I've endeavored in a few of them, and I looked at them like, yeah, this is legit. If this is my property, this is my investment. I want to make sure I'm getting my return right. I want to make sure everything's done. And you got to also think of it this side also, not even with the money, the money aspect, with getting you know the funds and the profit and everything.
Right.
I always think this too. This is my number one part when it comes to also the people who live in these properties, these homes, these apartments and everything. These are people's lives. They can't afford to buy. Right. You want to do everything in your power possibly for them to live comfortably. You do that, that goes far.
Right.
I had
Yeah.
this
I
line
agree.
was this line was brought to me when I was little. God doesn't like ugly.
Yeah.
So you need to take care of the ones that live in your property.
Right, right. Because those are your customers at the end of the day. Those
Yes.
tenants, those are you're running a business, those are your customers. They're providing or they're giving you business so you can provide for your family. So
Yes.
and take care of your family. So it's all like a circle. It comes around. You know, you help people, you get them into a housing and you provide housing for them, and you take care of that tenant the best way you can. I'm sure they'll take care of you, pay the rent on time, take care of the property for you, to keep the property up. Their unit or whatever you have, the house. It's just all about like how you go about it, man.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to screen them tenants. You have to,
Oh, yes.
because
Yeah,
you
there's-
you could do so much for a tenant and make sure they set up just perfect in your place. But if they're not the right tenant, if it doesn't matter if they don't have the right attitude or if they just don't care about your stuff, they will destroy your stuff. So,
Yeah, they wouldn't be a good fit for your property. You're not trying to replace everything in your establishment over their stupidity.
right, right. You just make sure that those people got to be screened correctly, and according to law, of course, and everything. You got to make sure you do everything according to law, and just do your best to get quality people in your properties. So that way they stay maintained properly, and the managers and whoever you have in place don't have a problem with those
Yes.
people. So,
Yes.
you know,
And yeah, that right there with the maintenance and management, like you just like having a good CPA for if you're an investor and dealing with taxes and everything, you need to have a good property management too.
yeah,
Hands down.
it goes a long way. But as far as the topic that we're talking about, that is another reason people are fearful sometimes of getting into real estate and feel scared and hesitant because the maintenance involved, trying to manage the property, all that is just, they think it's a headache. But if you run it correctly like a business, then you should have no problems. Just, find a good way to run it the way you like to, follow all property owner landlord guidelines always, and you will be successful. You can have this thing on autopilot if you want.
Yes. So number 5
Yeah.
would be the one that just changed about a week or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Interest rate changes.
Yeah.
Why could that be a crutch for somebody for not investing in real estate?
So I believe right off top that it could just be a crutch. The interest rates changing all the time. The Fed's always trying to change the rates. And inflation is crazy the way it is. People get fearful. They don't want to invest. They don't want to um, pay those payments because of they're fearful of, hey, what's my interest rate going to be based on my credit score? Man, my score dropped a couple of points, so man, I might have a higher interest rate than normal now. So I don't know if I want to invest. So they get kind of scared because of that. Why would anybody want to pay more money in interest than they have to? Based on their credit score. So it's like, man, it's that's one of the reasons too. It's interest rates can be one of those reasons. Is how do you feel, man? It's always changing. That's why I always say like just stay having good credit. You know what I mean? That way you can get the best possible interest rate.
Yes.
But we touched on it. I touched on it last time. I think maybe even people with good credit scores ain't even getting the best rates right now because of the way things are right now. It's crazy.
What interest rate is? It's strategic
Mm-hmm.
in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Why I say strategic? Well, you got to think like I was a kid. I didn't know anything about this, but I was looking at clips and stuff, and the interest rate back in the day used to be double digits.
Yeah.
Double digits. I was like, well, how did they survive with interest rate in double digits?
Yeah. was up there for a minute.
Yeah.
Too.
15, 16, 17% interest and call it a good day.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. 12, even like 10 and 12%. That's like crazy on real estate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. That is crazy. But, you know, it just comes back down to like, you know, credit.
Credit, yeah.
That's what it comes down to. That interest rate is going to be based off that credit score, what they're able to give you, and what you're doing out there as far as shopping around and stuff like that. Like you're trying to shop around for the best rate according to your credit score. So,
and I believe like right now it's been a little bit of 7%. I know eventually it will go down.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'll go down to the 2s like it did a couple of years ago. I mean, the lowest I've seen a person they bought a house.
Mm-hmm.
They got it at a 1.99%.
Yeah, I remember that like a couple years back.
Yes,
a couple years back when the interest rates, when people was just, you know, loving it. They was loving it, and they was encouraging people to buy too. They're like, hurry up and get in before
yes,
inflation hits and interest rates adjust and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, 1.99, 2 point whatever. Those was good days. I should have got in, but
a lot of people locked in. A lot of people locked in at that time period, and yeah, they're benefiting a lot from it. And like I said, it's a roller coaster when it comes to interest rate.
Yes,
and it depends. Like I said, it also depends also too with what you want to do with real estate.
Yeah,
because that we'll get later into it. The net operating income and
we'll get that.
It'll be. That play a lot of those things play a lot of part with the interest rate and everything that comes along with it, with buying properties and everything.
Yeah, buying properties, especially if you're doing like multifamily.
Yes,
you're buying units and stuff. That interest rate does matter on that alone. You want to get the best interest rate. I mean, even on any property, you want to get the best interest rate. But if you're trying to do multifamily, man, because the commercial game is a different type of loan. It's a commercial loan. So it's different.
The commercial, I know some people, the commercial compared to the residential is two different levels.
Yeah. Damn, I feel like it sounds different now. I'm talking more to the phone. I was over here.
Now you're deep into it now?
Yeah, now I can hear myself a little better.
Yeah, so that's the top 5 that we in no particular order. There's more.
Yeah.
There's more, but yeah, especially for now, today, that the time period that we're living in. Yeah. Everything is changing all the time.
Yeah, we just touched on just a couple of quick little topics.
That's just a little bit of that E40 sprinkle right there. Just a little bit. That's just a little bit. I mean, we could dive in deeper into it, but we just want to, no one has to be fearful of investing.
No.
And be around the right people. You be around, what they say, be around the right tribe.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't talk about real estate investing for somebody who wants to do crypto all the time.
No, because then that takes your focus off real estate investing. If you want to learn about crypto, like go learn about crypto. I'm not saying you can't do it at the same time, but like you starting out and you starting this entrepreneur journey, or you trying to focus on something, man, if real estate is your thing, get that down first, and then just kind of, okay, I got a couple of strategies. I know how to invest a little bit, my properties a little bit. Okay, let me go dip over here in crypto. Let me go hit the stock market. Let me open up a brokerage account and try to like start small investing, doing some stocks or something. But I just feel like, if you're going to get in the game, figure out and focus what you're going to get into first. If it's real estate, if it's that, then get into it and know as much as you can about it. If you're trying to make that top dollar, you're trying to make that big money.
It takes dedication. I view it like, football season is about to start. Those players are dedicated to their sport. So if you dedicate into that niche right there, like you're going to do everything possible for you to succeed.
Yeah.
Without any distractions, and having the right circle around you to benefit and prosper.
Yeah, you just gotta work. It's called working on the craft. You gotta keep working on your craft, whether it's sports, acting, a comedian. People just they work on their craft, and it's just consistency and being able to grow. And you got to be open minded. If it's something that a subject you don't know about, you have to be open-minded. You know, if you've never done real estate investing before, trust me, you're gonna have to be open-minded because, you know, if you want to learn and you want to, like I said, make money and you want to become a millionaire, it is possible because I'm on the journey. I'm trying, and I know you're trying too. So,
oh yeah, it doesn't stop. I tell people everybody has 24 hours a day.
Yes, sir.
When somebody says I can't do it, no, you can miss me with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm always grinding. I get up early in the morning. I'll be texting you. I'll be, crack of dawn.
You up before me, like, hey, I'm up. I'm already editing some shit or something. Exactly. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, already. Yes, exactly. But yeah, don't let real estate investing be fearful to you at all in any type of way.
Right.
It's actually real estate. It's a blessing. It's actually a blessing, and it's the one thing I will say this: the one thing that the government will help you completely, especially when it comes to taxes.
Yeah, and that's one of them advantages of taxes, along with the cash flow, appreciation, and everything like that. You know, I'm sure everybody that's interested in real estate have heard already, talked about all different strategies. It's just real estate has created a lot of millionaires. So
exactly.
You can't go wrong.
You can do investing so good that if you're tired of your job and you do it the right way, the right blueprint, you get back the right return.
Yeah.
You don't even have to work.
Right.
You can just do investing and you're in one deal, then get in another deal. Before you know it, you're monopoly. It's kind of like monopoly. You're just getting this property. It's come back return. Well, what do I want to do with this money? I want to diversify. I want to do it. 1031, all these little things we'll be explaining more in detail, but it's a blessing. Real estate's a blessing.
It is a blessing, man. It's those are those top 5 that we kind of just came up with. Of course, there's more. We'll probably touch on them in another episode, but just, those are what we wanted to discuss today, in no particular order.
Yeah, and then our next one we already got ready, but I'm not going to say what it is because it's very, very detailed. It's going to be more detailed than this one right here.
Yeah.
Because
we'll talk about it. We don't talk about it.
And I love doing this podcast for one reason, because let people know, because I started on this podcast journey. It's been going on 8 months, and this is my second YouTube. Anyone can do it. I just want to tell people, just off topic, forget about the real estate side.
It's all good.
If anybody wants to do a podcast, anybody wants to do YouTube, punch fear in the face. I mean, I made mistakes. I'm still making mistakes, but I'm still getting better. And everybody had to start everywhere. Like, I got 2 pictures right here of no particular order. Michael MJ, just to say for MJ himself. He, my boy from North Carolina, Tar Heel for life. But he messed up too. Remember, he got cut from the 9th grade team.
Man,
what did he do? He didn't go around pouting and crying. Man, he got better.
He actually went home and cried, but that cry turned into motivation for him to get better and to get back out there. He probably went home, cried so hard to where he was like, you know what? I'm gonna be the best. He told himself he was gonna be the best. So he cried himself probably so hard to where he told himself, you know what? No one's gonna laugh at me no more. I'm gonna be the best at this.
Exactly.
So he turned that cry,
that negative into a positive, and that might have been that started his journey right then and there. Right. That negative actually started the positive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he had that internal conversation with himself.
Exactly.
Where he, it was a wake up call, to work harder and to realize, like, man, there is a lot of other guys who are better than me on this team. Damn, I got cut, so, it's just one of those things. Hey, and then you got a picture of Jason Terry getting dumped on. I just have to say that.
Just the disrespect. I love it.
What was Terry thinking?
Not thinking.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
All right, bro. This is it. A second one.
For sure.
I'll get this out, get it edited.
Yeah.
Get it for y'all. The first one is going to be out really soon because I'm basically done with it. I just have to do 1 or 2 more things, and it's going to be on YouTube channel.
Can't wait.
And then from now on, the Professionals Real Estate Investing Podcast. And then I'm going to actually make sure that everyone knows if you want to be on the podcast, you want to join us, let me know.
Yeah.
I'm going to have everything up from the, phone number, email address, everything, the website and everything. All my contact information will it'll be easy to get a hold of, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we'd love to have somebody else on the show to do, episode. If you want to invite me back, hey.
Exactly. Yeah.
We can talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, this real estate, this podcast is it's not about me. It's about the people who I bring, because everybody has some type of professionalism in them.
Yes.
You may go through a whole episode, but then there might be that one sentence that changed your thought, your memory of something that changes. Like, hold on, I didn't think of it that way.
Right.
And then they change for the better. So that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
All right, then, world, we are done. Peace.
Peace out.